Hi, Ginger Lumen here. I'm recording this as a response to Ben Wilkoff's video blog. That was a response to my actual written blog. My written blog is called, Ask Us to Need to Learn. It's in there, whatever. Ask Us to Need to Learn, where I talk about the need for schools to be more authentic in their work with students, and it's about learning how to learn and how to be engaged learners, and the stuff that I like to really talk about and I feel very passionate about. And Ben responded to this blog, agreeing with the basic premise. There was no issue there, but he hit on one particular piece that I talk about a lot, and he talks about how the real world, it's not school versus the real world. He says that school is the real world for kids, and you really should listen to his video. He makes some good points, but I'm responding because I don't necessarily agree. Not completely. I 100% agree, and I greatly disagree. Let me explain. Real world versus school. He doesn't like that dichotomy. He says that it belittles or demeans the realness, the reality of what kids are, and that we should be creating environments that are havens, I believe was the word he used. Let me look at my notes here. A haven from the real world. And then it also puts up the real world in some sort of pedestal as to being something that is what we should strive to be into. Okay, my points. My points are this. That I think that our schools are not mimicking the real world. And I know he doesn't like that terminology, but I don't think that they are real. He says that they're real. I think that right now our schools are very artificial. And they're artificial in that we don't have the same rules for our citizens in school as what they would have out of school. We don't have the same power structures. We don't have the same independence as citizens of school, as students would be. Don't have the same, like I said, power balance. It's not real. It is artificial. It's like saying Splenda is sweet, but it ain't sugar, right? So we have an artificial. I would like to see school become more realistic. In fact, that's what my whole existence is about, is to have kids practice life more authentically, to have more responsibility, to have more freedom inside this sheltered environment. Now, I'm not saying where, these are kids and bam, we're going to pretend like they're out workers in the world. By the way, I have a problem with the idea of workers in the world, too. There was a piece that that Ben had put a comparison of students versus workers. I'll get back into that in a little bit. It says that, and I'm looking at notes because I so have a bad memory when I just listen. I have to look at things too. So life outside of school should be a haven, but currently it's not. It's not. That's what he says. I want kids to look forward to getting out of school. I want our schools to be preparing them not to be workers per se in the world, but to be I almost said it. It's something I don't necessarily agree with. I want them to be whatever they want to be. I hate to say that because I don't think that's real. It's not authentic. It's not reality. I mean, I may want to be president of the United States. I may want to be a basketball star, but baby, I am never going to be that. That's reality. But I want them, most of all, to set up the outside world, the real world, to be more independent, to be more thinkers, to be more in control of who they are, what they do, how they live. I'm not sure that school mimics that at all. And I think that there are people in the real world who don't exercise that independence either, but they should. And I gotta say, they're just products of a school environment where they're told what to, when to, how to. And when they get out of school, that's what they expect to see. And I don't want my school to mimic that because I don't think that's real. School can be something more. I don't want us to be a student who's led and fed. I don't want us to be a worker who's led and fed. I want us to be both independent. And so, Ben, this is where I 100% agree with you. School should be something better. It should be real life. It should be considered real life. But what's happening right now isn't. And that's my point, is I want it to be real life so that the lines are really blurred between what's happening in school and what the real world is. And right now I see the lines as so different. And if I don't draw those lines, what I think is happening is that teachers are saying, well, we're preparing kids for the real world, when they're so not at all. But that's the mantra we've told ourselves. And so we believe it. I want to purposefully create that obvious split and then solve it. Not just create the split for no reason, just to say, oh yeah, schools suck, but to say there's something better and let me help us find it. And I want to help you find it. That's what my passion's been now for more years than I like to think. And I proved on a microcosm that it can work. And I'm working now on the macrocosm. So thanks, Ben. I'm gonna give pause every time I think about when I say real world now, and I appreciate that. Thank you.